I love the Kulturas music. Hey everybody, Adrian here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to another Sunday night stream, which I love doing. You guys will know that. And I'm doing something different here. This is an MMO discussion stream. It's a discussion live. Simply because I didn't feel like playing today. I, like Punk in chat, have a really terrible headache. I haven't been sleeping very well. The good news is I've spent all that time and energy making tons of YouTube videos. I've got about 7 videos for various different MMOs that I made over the past 3 days, and I think about 4 are already out. There's 3 more to come. An ESO video coming out after this stream, and then tomorrow morning for me, which is Sunday night for you folks, there's going to be a interesting video regarding MMOs on the Nintendo Switch. Also, real quick, I want to say hi to everybody in chat. We got Professor Kaken, what up man, and also Joey Lowe. Kagan asks, what does everybody think of the pre-expansion events, the burning of Teldrassil, of course, and then the Siege of Lordaeron? Feel free to share your thoughts. What we're going to be doing today is, because the expansion, Battle for Azeroth, is coming out in 48 hours or less. Like, it's coming really, really soon, and I'm so excited. It's my first expansion, really, really excited. And I thought this was a great opportunity to look back at World of Warcraft's previous expansion, which is Legion, that, you know, all of us are currently in and are getting stuff done. Now, it's not like Legion is going away, or, you know, when Warcraft moves on to a new expansion, the last expansion is kind of forgotten. But you do have to look at it from a point of view that, you know, everybody is going to be moving to the current cap content. So most everybody in World of Warcraft will be moving on to Battle for Azeroth. Of course, because it's such a huge MMORPG, there's always going to be players that are, you know, haven't pre-ordered the expansion, not going to play it for maybe 6 months or anything. So there's still people going to be playing in Legion, but most of the player base will have moved on to the 2 new factions, Kulturas and Zalandar. So it's interesting for me. This is my chance to talk about Legion. I thought about doing ranking all the expansions for WoW and making that a separate video. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to do that. My hands are so tied. So I'm just going to make a discussion video about Legion, and I really want to hear everybody, those of you in chat watching live, and those of you that will watch this after the stream, because it is a discussion video. What are your favorite things about the Legion expansion? Your pros, and what you didn't like about the Legion expansion, your cons. So in about an hour, the hour that I have here tonight, I'm going to be reading out some of your responses and interacting with you guys in chat, trying to get your opinions out there so that we can all talk about it and discuss this, because I love doing stuff like this. You guys know that. We got Jerry in chat. He says, hi bro. Hey Jerry, how you doing, man? How's it going? Professor Kagan says, as a horde, I still haven't done the pre-patch event. I'm boycotting Sylvanas. Probably do it last second for the mount, though. Yeah, the horde site mount, that Undercity bat is... I just wish there was like a different coloration on the bat. That'll make it sweet. Otherwise, look, I've got no complaints about the mounts in general. Sylvanas, though, like I still, because I don't have years and years of loyalty to the horde, I'm not as upset with her as a lot of the other people are, you know, but I can really honestly see where that sort of angst and animosity is coming from based on her decisions in the current story and everything. Let me just check if there's anything I can do while I am talking to you guys and discussing about Legion. If not, then we'll get straight into the discussions. Okay, let me just get my Champion Hall stuff done. We'll start off, I'm just going to recap all the features that Legion launched with for those that maybe do not play World of Warcraft and wondering what came with Legion for its time. Ooh, okay, bonus. Nice, nice. Oh, damn it, I hit I instead of B. It's the one thing I cannot get right when I jump around MMO so much, and that are keybinds. Out of the 2 MMOs that I played in the last 6 months, only 2 of them uses B as your open your bags keybind. That's Warcraft and Rift. Okay. Do I still have my Wii buff? I do. Wii buff is going to give you a 10% bonus experience to reputation. Rep. So if you guys are trying like me to wrap up Pathfinder passively, then I highly recommend
Nothing can hide from the light.
maxing this out. 162, damn it, not good enough. 116, 155. Nope. Nope, alright, 116 it is. 160. Alright, let's talk about Legion, y'all. I'm gonna bring up the feature page here. So, for those of you guys that was there and played Legion live when that launched about 2 years ago in 2016, you guys are familiar with all the features that it launched with. The main attraction of the expansion, obviously, the story continued into the Broken Isles, both Horde and Alliance, and of course the new class Legion launched with the Demon Hunter. I have a Demon Hunter. It does, and I'll talk about that because I don't have experience with all the other classes. WoW has 12 classes at this point, and I've only played like 5 of them. 4 of them properly, that is. I've got the DK, I have the Paladin, I've got the Warrior, and I also have the Demon Hunter now. So, the Demon Hunter is interesting when I first played it, and I only played it recently because I started playing Warcraft in December. And from my perspective of the class, it just feels so different from whatever that was out there. The way the class moved in terms of its mobility, the double jump feature, the double jump into a glide feature, gliding as a feature itself. You can get off cliffs and mountaintops and do things that usually only priests would ever dare do, which is just jump up somewhere and then put the anti-fall thing on and just glide down a cloud. Demon Hunters kind of just revolutionized that. You know, the gliding is a pretty sick feature, but all in all, it just moves around great, and it's one of those things where once I started playing the Demon Hunter class, you're like, this feels refreshing. It feels fresh, and one of the things about Demon Hunter as well is that it's got great. It only has 2 specs. It's only got 2 specializations, and most people will be like, so it's like a specialist class, or, you know, it's not well sought after. Well, you'd be surprised. The Demon Hunter, for a tank, its tank spec, its DPX spec, is pretty decent. Somebody asked me to watch this video of this one guy soloing like raid content in Legion and mythic content in Legion in his tank mode alone, and he was able to do that because the Demon Hunter has great survivability in terms of self-heals. You kill tons of trash mobs, and their self-healing mechanic is, you know, they'll drop orbs or some stuff on the ground, and you just go run pick them up, and that's going to replenish your health. So in terms of a mechanic for the class as a whole, especially from what I was playing at the time, the Warrior and the Paladin, he just felt so different. Like, just general movement and stuff, you know, you could do this, and this is what I used to do in Wildstar. If I'm running around the content, I'll just double jump around. Double jump, break into your dash, and then of course you can just, you know, glide, double jump into glide. These things are, for its time, and for me having never played the Demon Hunter prior to any of the classes I played, this was great. So the attraction for the Legion expansion was great, 12 class, whoop-de-doo, because I don't think Draenor came out with any new class. The last class was 2012 Mists of Pandaria, and that was the Monk and the Pandaren. I think that's how you pronounce it, because Ren, and any Chinese in chat, Ren in Chinese means people. So the way I would pronounce it is Panda Ren. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. Pandaran. So in racing class combo. So yeah, I'm pretty. Although he's not my main, I like the Demon Hunter a lot. So I don't know. You guys that have Demon Hunters, what do you think? Great class? Is this your main class now, or is it behind some of the other existing classes? Of course, Battle for Azeroth changed a lot of that, you know, with all the stat squishes and, you know, a lot of the talents and stuff will be, well, 8.0 is already live, so all the changes that you will see in BFA is already live. But yeah, these are the 2 specs. Pretty decent overall, solid class. For me, like, the cool thing is if you bought, back then you bought Legion, you start the Demon Hunter at 110. No, you started at level 100, my bad, I take that back. So you only had to level up 10 levels to get to the current endgame. So that was a lot of, that's a very attractive, you know, feature for players that are looking to, oh, I need an alt, or I want to play a different style. You know, this is a hero class, so alongside the DK, it starts at a higher level. Okay, just checking chat real quick. Kagan says there's a set rotation for class adding, or a theory at least. So what is that theory? Is it every 2 expansions, or I'll be interested to know that. And next feature, let's go on and read off the website here. Broken Isles as a continent. So Legion expansion, Demon Hunter class, and now we've got the Broken Isles. Broken Isles as a continent. Let's talk about that for a sec. I don't have much time. I want to get through all the points, and also I want to keep some time to read out you guys' response. For those of you just joining the chat, I asked a question: what do you like best about Legion, and what did you like least about Legion? We're going to be talking about Legion as we move on to Battle for Azeroth in a couple of days. So let's go to the Broken Isles, and this is the map of the Broken Isles. I'm just going to get rid of my World Quest add-on here and make the map full screen. I hope you guys... yeah, there we go. This is the map of the Broken Isles that, you know, if you were leveling up in Legion when it launched, this is what it looked like. And in comparison to all the expansions that World of Warcraft has and the ones that I've leveled through, Legion... oh, what was that? Sarcastic Sandpie has just subscribed. I like your name, Sarcastic Sandpie. Thank you for the sub. If you are watching the stream, or if you're coming from my Black Desert Online remastered video, yeah, welcome to the channel. I'm sort of like your MMORPG handyman, I suppose. I make videos about all of them from various different topics, so thanks for the support. But yeah, what was I saying? The Broken Isles map for Legion in comparison to other expansions that Warcraft has put out. This one to me felt the most compact, and if you guys have watched my leveling streams along the way, I mentioned numerous times how the technology and the quality of different things like storytelling to graphics to cinematics to the flow of questing design got better with each, you know, new expansion. In terms of the zone design, I sort of felt that way too, because everything is just clustered together so nicely that moving between zones, even before 7.3.5, felt really fluid and natural. And you know, you could start pretty much anywhere, because the way it works is, in previous expansion, let's take Draenor for example, you get the main quest from whoever it was, and you go through the portal or whatever, and then you start by going to different zones, and then after the first two zones or whatever, you can branch out. Earlier expansions than that, you pretty much had that choice as well, but it's almost always people are going to pick like their favorite or the most efficient way to level zone. Here in the Broken Isles, even before 7.3.5, in my opinion, I just felt like I could just pick whatever the hell I wanted to, because of the story that's weaved into the Broken Isles, which revolves around the Pillars of Creation. Which are these things that you have to get to seal the Legion, the Tomb of Sargeras, really, and that came out in a later update or whatever. But I really like the zone design. It just feels compact. The maps may be smaller, I think, and if you've unlocked flying, you can pretty much cover most of the ground pretty fast. This is not like, you know, Outland, where you're about like 4 minutes on your mounts flying across the map to get somewhere else. Here you can get around pretty quick. I really like the design for this, for all the different areas. Zuna. Yeah, please ignore the add-on that I have. My add-on puts all that stuff on the map. So, alright, let's check in the chat real quick. What do you guys think of the Broken Isles as a map? Alrighty, where are we in chat? Kaken says it is every other expansion gets a new class, and every other class is added is a hero one. So the next class will be after Battle for Azeroth, and it will start at level 1 like the monk, not at the expansion cap. Ooh, that's pretty interesting. So the... oh. Yeah, okay, so every other expansion seems to fit in with, from a historical point of view, because Pandaria, new class and race, and then Draenor, nothing, and then Legion, new class and race. So, yeah, cool. I guess we can all just sit back and wait for the next expansion in a year and figure out what is coming. We got Alex Case Production. Hello, Alex Case. It says, "What time is it in your country when the BFA launches?" It's 12 AM for me, so I'll probably start the next day. Oh, I feel you, brother. I feel you. You will not believe this. I mean, it sucks. The timing really sucks. Here, let me look at global launch again. I had this written down somewhere. So global launch for Asia or APAC MEA is, for me in my time, it's 8 o'clock in general for APAC MEA, 8 o'clock in the morning. But for where I am in Southeast Asia, it is 6 in the morning, 6 o'clock. The thing is, over the past few days, if you watched at the top of the stream, I said I've been having trouble sleeping. I've been awake during that period because I pull graveyard shifts to finish, work and stuff, and I will be awake when it launches. That's the crazy part, and I will have to prolong that and then start streaming. So yes, I will be streaming on launch day, because why the hell wouldn't I? It's a must. So I'll be streaming it at 6 a.m. my time. I'll probably be in game already by 5 a.m. because according to a lot of people, even Wowhead, the guys there have said, do not log into the game before it goes live, and do not log out unless you absolutely have to, just to mitigate any issues, like having trouble logging into login servers or whatever. So I'm probably going to do that. But yeah, 12 o'clock for you, because it's a weekday, you're probably working the next day, right? So that's why you're going to wait a full day. But 12 a.m. is another crappy time, unfortunately. But let's talk about that for a sec, shall we? Global release. Is that a good idea? Is a global idea a good release for you guys? I mean, World of Warcraft has the luxury of deciding that sort of thing. Okay, shall we launch this in all our regions, at different periods, or should we just make it one global launch? Other MMORPGs that don't necessarily have that sort of player base. What do we got? CML Melky has just subscribed. Thank you, CM. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate the support. If you are watching this stream, or if you came from one of the other videos, welcome. And now my train of thought has just been derailed. That's what happens when you try and do a discussion video live. What was I saying? Oh yeah, global launch times. So like, let's take for example, like the Elder Scrolls or whatever. They've only got 2 mega servers in the world, like EU and NA. And when they decide to launch it, it's either going to be one specific time for North America and one specific time for EU. Stuff like Guild Wars 2, you don't have an option when they only have one launch time and date. If you miss that, you miss that. So this is pretty interesting. A lot of people say, yeah, this is going to fuck up the servers a lot, simply because so many players trying to access the game at the same time on launch is a really bold move. Even I think that it's a really brave thing for Blizzard to do. Means that they are really confident and really, yeah, just confident in their ability to make it a smooth launch. So I don't have the experience of being there when the other expansion launched, so I'm gonna have to rely on you guys' experience from past launches, global launches that is, to tell me if has there been any disasters. We got Jiggled Squid Gaming in chat. It says, hello Adrian. Hello Jiggled Squid Gaming. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Professor Kagan says, Void Hunter, next class. We got Carlos Enrique in chat. He says, hi all, greetings from Brazil. Hello Carlos. Sorry guys if I'm getting to your chat late. And for those of you just here, again, I'm going to ask you the question. We're talking about the Legion expansion. This is your opportunity to tell me, what is your favorite, best thing about Legion as an expansion? What's your least liked thing about expansion? Either here on the stream where I can read it out for everybody, or after the stream you can post it in the comment section below. This is not going to be a long stream. This is going to be a short one where I can just talk through about some of these features. Alex Case Production says, as long as the servers are fine, global launch is great. Yeah, it sucked in the past when I had to wait 1 day as a EU player to play the content that US already has available. Yeah, that's the thing though. I mean, a lot of games tend to do that as well. Like it'll launch in US in 1 day and EU will get the next day. I think WoW, it's like that for WoW as well, right? Because I saw lots of complaints about the burning of Teldrassil, the War of the Thorns campaign. The BFA pre-event came out in the US first, and then EU players had to wait another 12 hours or something like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen in that situation, like spoilers and, all that kind of stuff. But in a way, that's kind of down to you to just avoid anything if you haven't played it yourself. Other games also suffer from, yeah, PC is going to get it this time, and then console is going to get it like at the end of the month. That is probably the most frustrating thing if you are a console player. Ooh, what do we got? Tom Daly's just subscribed. Thank you, Tom Daly, if you're watching the stream or if you came from another video. Doesn't matter. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel. We got Graspy in chat. Says, yo, Graspy, how you doing, man? Hey, Graspy, what's your favorite thing about Legion expansion, and what's your least favorite thing about Legion expansion? I'll share mine before I go, do not worry. So let's talk about more features then. I stopped at the Broken Isles as a continent. Let's scroll down some more and see what else. Okay, Valshara, Stormheim, Azuna, High Mountain, Suramar. These are just the different zones in the Broken Isles expansion. I suppose I'll share my favorite to level in, because I've leveled like 3 different tunes through. In terms of, I don't know, a static story, just the flow of leveling, Azuna is my favorite simply because, you know, when you start a new demon hunter, or even if it as a new class, you know, you come down here and then you've got all the Illidari around, you know, just trying to kick some demon ass, and the story moves on to the blue dragonflight, or not, I think, yeah, it's a blue dragonflight up here, and then you meet the crazy night elf, no, not night elf, the nightborn elf guy, and that's your kind of first breadcrumb introduction to the Suramar side of the story later on. But yeah, my favorite zone is to level in is Azuna. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because it's fast. This one is one of the fast ones. Again, this is just my personal experience, so I'm really curious to know what yours is. And second for me, I think Val'sharah is the shortest. Val'sharah for me is one of the... Hang on. Why is it not showing that I've already done this? I've been to Val'sharah. Let me just double check that. Suramar. Val'sharah. Well, okay, never mind. Val'sharah is my second because this is really, really fast. It just takes place in an area, and then you go to north, south, east, and west to talk to the various different ancients to try and save, you know, one of Malfurion's buddies. And it didn't take very long. The story didn't take very long, and that's why if you just want to get rid of all the quests really quickly and get the XP to level up, I like Val'sharah. High Mountain is probably my least favorite map in the Broken Isles, not because the story isn't great or not because I'm racist towards Taurens. No, it's nothing like that. It's just the layout of the land. It's just, for me, without Pathfinder, it's pretty hard to navigate. I mean, that's just me being a WoW noob, but yeah, navigation through High Mountain is not my favorite thing in the world. But in terms of story, I like the story here because, you know, as a Alliance player at the time that didn't have a Horde character, you learned a lot about the Tauren ways, you know, their shamanic ways and their cultural, the way they do their cultural things. It's a really great eye-opener for me as an Alliance player playing through some of these Tauren stuff. So while I do like the story, in terms of the design and the layout, not my cup of tea. Stormheim was interesting. You guys, for those of you that watch my leveling stream for my warrior, you guys will remember that I came to Stormheim first. This was my first zone. And Stormheim, I just liked the whole, you know, the Valajar thing. There's like Vikings, and at the time I was actually watching the TV show Vikings, so I could make a, you know, I was hooked on that whole vibe. The story's pretty decent. It's about you trying to challenge, you know, the gods or something, just to get that pillar of creation, just to show that you're worthy. And that was a pretty fun thing. It's not as long as the other ones, but pretty decent. Now, before I get to Suramar, let me just check it in chat real quick, see what you guys are saying. At this point, you can tell me anything you want about the Legion expansion. I will read it out to you. We got Finn McCool. What's up, Finn McCool? He says, I like World of Warcraft, but there are too many blacks and Mexicans playing it. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking serious? Come on, dude, that's not nice. Shagrafs06 says, good day from Croatia. Good day to you. From Croatia. Awesome. He says, which class will you main in battle for Azeroth? I will play a Warlock. Demonology spec is wonderful now. I mean, I've seen, because I've bookmarked Wowhead ever since I came back, and I've been just reading everything there daily and seeing what their class reviews and builds are for BFA. I haven't really kept up with all the other classes, except for the ones that I play. I'm going to be maining a Paladin, a Ret Paladin in BFA, not because it's overpowered or because it's the best class. I just prefer playing it. It's what I like to play as a Paladin. And then closely followed by either my Demon Hunter or my Warrior. I was trying to get a Priest up to 110 before the expansion launch, but I don't think I can do that at this point, unfortunately. I just couldn't find the time, and I've been working on a lot of YouTube vids, so that kind of just took away that opportunity. But for now, it's Paladin on my Alliance side, and then it's going to be the Horde Death Knight on the Horde side. So those are my two classes. So cool, Warlock Demonology, huh? Awesome. We got Miss Ladybomb in chat. Hello, Miss Ladybomb. She says, Val'sharah is my favorite because of the Emerald Dream story. That's another good point. The Emerald Dream has happened in the past where if your Malfurion used to be this really cool looking, clean dude, and then he got trapped in the Emerald Dream for like, what, thousands of years or whatever, and then when he came out, he's got all these feathers and stuff, so that Emerald Dream nightmare just kind of changed him. And the Val'sharah story kind of harkens back to that, you know, what happened in the past, and he gets kidnapped or taken or whatever by this, you know, one of the Legion lieutenants or whatever. And towards the end of the story, I mean, it's not a spoiler anymore. His lover and wife Tyrande comes, and you know, two of you will try and help him out. I've seen people complain about this part of the story because, you know, it just totally devalues Malfurion as a powerful deity or being, because he's being, you know, handled like a little kid, and the way he whines and moans, you know, throughout that quest chain. A lot of people didn't like that because it didn't paint Malfurion in a, for lack of a better term, a macho light. To me, I don't have a problem with that. I just find the story really intriguing anyway, so good point there. Finn says there are too many smelly jungle bunnies and bean diapers. Dude, if you've got nothing constructive to say about the Legion expansion, I'm not gonna read your messages out, dude. I'm here to talk about the Legion expansion. I'm here to talk about what you guys liked or didn't like about Legion before Battle for Azeroth hits. I think it's a great time to look back at the Legion expansion and just discuss everything about it. Okay, here we go. We have a good one. Alex K says, what I didn't like about Legion were the Paragon chest mounts. The grind of the chest is so annoying, and the RNG is a huge factor. Good thing they removed it for Battle for Azeroth. That's one of the things I've seen mentioned a lot in comment section as well. Graspy says, the best part about the Legion expansion was the constant flow of content. It was something that have not done in the past. They seem to have this content flow right. And that simply means the introduction of new content updates, which I think from the previous expansion, Warlords of Draenor, everybody has been saying. The content drought in Draenor was one of the reasons why 2014's Worlds of Draenor wasn't the best expansion, even though the story may be great and everything. It's just the mass content droughts just gave people nothing to do. So Legion's content updates, you know, 7 this, 7 that, and then they brought in the Broken Shore, and then Argus. I think the timing between the updates also was done right, and that's what Graspy is saying. So the flow is perfect. So let's hope BFA gets that similar flow, because I'll be interested in that. I mean, I'm an active sub now. Obviously, I don't want to be, you know, playing for like 1 month, get to 120, and then like, okay, now what? What we do know is August 14th all the way up to September the 4th is your window for getting as many tunes as you want up to 120 and doing all the content that will be out for BFA at release. So that means all the 10 dungeons, and I think Island Expeditions will be launched between that period as well. September 4th is when the first raid drops, and I think Warfronts also come on September 4th, I could be wrong. But that's basically what they've planned ahead. So August 14th all the way up to September the 4th, that's your window for leveling, and then the good stuff will come out. Shagraf says, thank you for the info. You're welcome. Back to the zones here. Suramar. As you can see, I did not do Suramar or my Paladin, but I'm like 90% done on my main, my warrior. All I gotta say about Suramar is, you know, if you're a new player trying to get Lore Master and Pathfinder for Legion, this is gonna be one of those like, what the hell? It's so good when it comes to story. In terms of quest design, I think Blizzard was having a laugh, but it's so brilliant because it's unlike anything I've ever seen in terms of the way they make you go on this very long series of quest chains leading up into a raid, into a dungeon, and then waiting for a couple of patches, and then continuing the story as well through this guy that you need to bribe with ancient mana. For those of you that know and have done the Suramar, good Suramartian deed, you guys will know what I'm talking about. It's just incredible. I've done it once, or I'm going to be doing it once, and I'll never do it again. It's just that crazy. Okay, let's go and look at features again. We've talked about zones. Okay, dungeons now. The Legion dungeons: Halls of Valor, Blackrook Hold, Vault of the Wardens, Eye of Ajara, Darkheart Thicket, Neltharion's Lair, Helheim, Suramar City, Violet Hold. Oh boy, I remember I've done all of them at least once, either on my warrior or my paladin. I don't remember all of them. Halls of Valor was the one I ran the most while leveling, simply because it just popped a lot for me. I mean, I don't really have a favorite, but if you guys want to tell me what your favorite Legion dungeon is, and Legion raid as well, let's just get into that. Obviously the Emerald Dream, and even the Argus stuff, which I'll talk about soon. PvP honor system. Version 3 came with Legion as well. I mean, I didn't do a whole lot of PvP this expansion cycle because I've been trying to catch up with the PvE side of things. New transmog system and changes, new social features. When a friend joins a queue, a notification is sent to their friends, encouraging them to queue as well. This one is an invasion of privacy. Sorry to get in on the content discussion, but this new social features, this is like a privacy. You know, sometimes when I'm recording videos or whatever, I'm appearing offline because I don't want. When I'm recording a video when I'm capturing footage for a video, is what I'm saying. You don't want to have any distractions or whatever. So I'll usually go and appear offline, and then But if I'm appearing offline and I join a dungeon queue, everybody in my friend list can see that, hey, he's joined a dungeon queue, but he's not online. So how the fuck did that happen? So that's a kind of weird thing. I wish they'd give you a toggle to turn that off. And that's about it, I suppose. That's all the features that were listed there. More obviously came with later expansions, as I said. Not expansions, sorry, updates in terms of coming out with the Broken Shore. And this is, of course, the Legion Fall campaign, Seal Off the Tomb of Sargeras, and then, of course, the big green planet in the sky, Argus, that everybody was telling me, dude, you gotta get to Argus. Dude, screw Suramar, man, get to Argus because it's difficult and all that stuff. And when I finally got to Argus, I did it for a bit with a very prominent person here on my channel, ggmyster. We were doing it together, and that was before 8.0 hit, so it was pretty challenging. I couldn't really do anything too much. I couldn't pull more than 3 mobs or whatever. And then when 8.0 came out, it was just like a face roll because the catch-up mechanics were there, and if you had your artifact weapons and you did the thing, you just became so powerful that it's just a face roll. As for story, yeah, I kind of like it, just seeing the Draenei fight back and everything. And I spent, and in fact, this is a fact, my entire Legion playing over the last 2 months, I spent the most time in Argus. And I'll tell you why. Because this is where, for me, the story ended. And then you get to watch, and you also do the Argus raid, and you watch Sargeras, Pierce Silithus, and all that stuff. But beyond that, I stayed here to unlock the Void Elf and the Light Fortuné. So I was doing world quests like every day for 2 weeks. So that's why I played here the most. And I do like Argus a lot. I think it flows. The story flows great. It's just navigation. If you play here a lot, you will remember the various different shortcuts and passages like the back of your hand. Because there's no flying here, so you have to do everything on foot. So, Demon Hunters will love Argus. Demon Hunters were made for Argus, with the gliding and fast movement and everything without your mount. So, that's my take on the zones, y'all. Feel free to share thoughts. Did you have fun in Argus or not? Is Suramar the most annoying zone that you've ever done? I would love to read all that stuff. Technology Tech says Submit 88. No, Submit 88. Submit 88? Or, yeah. Not sure what you meant by that, unless that was a message to subscribe. Acer Annoying says, LOL. What's up, Acer Annoying? Okay, let's move on, and I guess we'll talk about features that came with Legion that, for me, not really fundamentally changed the game, but was interesting and big enough. I suppose we'll start with the World quests. As you guys know, for those that have come from Outland in Warlords of Draenor, they introduced treasure hunts in that expansion. So you'd go around the map and you can pick up treasures, and these give you experience and better gear and sometimes toys and other trinkets and stuff. So that has been brought forward to Legion when it launched. So they had the treasure system, but beyond that, they also brought the bonus objective thing. Before, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but for the benefit of people that don't play WoW, you'd go to an area where your quest told you to go and do your basic quests, and then there'll be a bonus objective popping up that says, all right, fill this bar to 100%, kill, like, I don't know, 40, maybe 50 monsters, I'm sure it's not that much, maybe 30 or 40, and you'll get about 60,000 XP. This is just a rough number, ballpark figured, which will be about, exponentially more than what the quest reward offered. So immediately you'll go like, oh shit, yeah, I'm totally gonna do the bonus objectives in addition to doing the quest, and I'll go pick up every other treasure in the area. That alone, that mixing of stuff by bringing the warlord systems across made Legion one of the best levels, best expansions to levels in, because there's a lot of options afforded to you. And how I got my DK and my other tune-up so fast was knowing a couple of things. One, do all the bonus objectives that pop up in addition to the zone story quests, and in between that you can jump into a dungeon as well, and then you wait for Legion invasions. This is something that none of the other expansion has, whereby any time on a timer, I think it's every couple of hours, no, not a couple of hours, Wowhead has the official number here, I think every day or something, I forgot what the Legion invasion windows were. But when the window opens, one of these zones are going to be hit by a Legion invasion for about 4 hours or 6 hours, I can't remember. And there's going to be types of quests, like world quests, that you can do either solo in a group for a shit ton of XP. Like 90,000 XP, I think it was, for one of those world quests. So if you had your heirloom gear on, and if you had your rested XP saved up, and you did the things I already talked about, bonus objectives, following the quest design, running a dungeon or two, and then you waited for a Legion invasion, and you completed that Legion invasion on a leveling alt. You don't have to be 110, leveling alt. You could get a solid level and a half. So Legion, with all that systems that they introduced, was one of the best expansions for leveling a tune. It just moved so fast. Before, I think, when I didn't have my heirloom armor and when I didn't do the Legion invasions on my warrior, I finished the entirety of all the zones. With heirloom and the things I just talked about, I only needed to finish like 2.5 zones, and then I'm 110. So I didn't need to go complete the rest, for XP that is. So I really like that feature. Battle for Azeroth, what's going to be coming from the Legion is first and foremost world quests. So yay for those of you that liked world quests. For those of you that hate world quests, unfortunately, it's a thing. I know some people have said, especially when I've been playing, they were like, hang on a sec, my sound just died. Oh, never mind. It's the little knob here on my headphones. A lot of people have said that world quests are a lazy design, in the fact that it was made as a way for you to keep doing the same thing over and over, but by making a long list of things to do and then refreshing them, it's just a sleight of hand. It's an illusion to to give players the feeling like, oh, there's a lot of content, when in fact you're probably doing the same things that you've done. And a lot of the world quest design in Legion is that while you're leveling and you're not 110 yet, you've already done this in the form of a bonus objective. But when you hit 110, that bonus objective that you did while you're leveling in terms of the design and the objective becomes a world quest. So a lot of the times you will go back to Legion or one of the zones and you'll see that same thing again. It's like, hey, did I do this when I was leveling up? That is now a world quest. So that's Blizzard kind of reusing that sort of content to make it content at endgame. Where I stand on world quest is, I think it's an option for you to do. No one's forcing you to do world quests unless, of course, you're grinding for the rep, which is a good reason enough to do it, because there's going to be lots of things gated behind reputation in Battle for Azeroth, and you definitely want to do the world quests. It's just I just hope more diverse styles of world quests, especially things that we don't really see while we are leveling, because if you keep seeing stuff that you've done while you're leveling as endgame content in the world quest, then it kind of becomes a little boring and dull, right? Let me check in the chat real quick before I move on here. Alex K says Mythic Plus was one of the best things in Legion, as well as world quests. Yeah, I've been talking to... Ooh, what do we got? HK has just subscribed. Thank you, HK. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate the support. I talked to Kat a lot, and for those of you that don't know Kat, you can go and watch one of my recent roundtables where I did with Kat, and Kat is a huge fan of Mythic Plus as a dungeon system, simply because of how progressive it is in nature in terms of difficulty and the challenge, and we just wait to see what the affixes were. And I will jump into that hopefully in BFA. I'm not ready, and I don't have the time to commit yet. But yeah, I know a lot about Mythic now, and I think any MMO that does that, when you have a procedurally difficulty increasing dungeon with different systems and mechanics that makes it interesting. Never mind that it's the same dungeon, but with a different objective or a different mold in terms of how they want to make the challenge interesting. As any MMO that does that is, I think it's fantastic for content. It's fantastic for group players and solo players as well to challenge themselves. So yeah, I may not have done one in Legion. I will definitely do one in Battle for Azeroth. Graspy says zone invasions every 18 hours. Thank you, Graspy. Always coming through, man. Thank you very much. So zone invasion is every 18 hours. Battle for Azeroth probably will not have that while you're leveling because Legion's gone for now. But we'll have to wait and see what other stuff you can do while you're leveling in Kulturas or Zandalar to, you know, mix it up a little bit. Professor Kagan says, I think world quests are dailies 2.0. It's something for people who want to grind, can grind. I think it's a pretty good improvement to the way grinding dailies used to be. That's another good point there, because world quests, I suppose when you look back at expansions, not only in World of Warcraft but in other MMOs, when you go back and you think of daily quests, it's all about going to an NPC and picking them up and then going out and doing a bunch of quests and then coming back and turning it in. That is, for the longest time I can remember, that's how world quests or daily quests used to be. World quests are in one way makes it more convenient to go out into the world and do what you need to do without having to, you know, pick it up or turn it in. And the only thing you need to turn in are those emissary stuff. So emissary, for new players that are watching, possibly, which I highly doubt, are oh, bugger. I need my world quest. But yeah, it's just basically every 3 days it refreshes. You complete 4 world quests for a particular faction, and then once you completed that, you can go turn it into an emissary and get bonus reputation and all kinds of goodies as well. So it's an incentive, double incentive there. Good point. All right. Anything else? Anybody just joining the stream? My question to you was your favorite Legion stuff, your favorite Legion feature. What do you like best about the Legion expansion? What do you didn't like? And I suppose share your favorite Legion memory as well. I'm sure you guys have a ton about your heroic Argus rating and stuff like that. I mean, I've got none of that. I really don't. I'm still a newbie in some ways, but BFA, you know, I'll try and make memories as I go live on stream. And just in case for those that are just joining the stream, my plan for Battle for Azeroth is I will be streaming this on launch day, which will be Tuesday for me, Tuesday 6 a.m. in the morning. The global launch date, I will be streaming it live here on YouTube. So that's that for you, for all you guys that are like, why the hell are you streaming on Twitch? Well, I'll be streaming this on YouTube then, which will be fun. So I expect to be really groggy and sleepy, you know, coffee and everything. Can't wait. Shall we talk about artifact weapons real quick? That's another big thing about the Legion expansion. Ooh, before I get to that, HK has said, I like the class-focused content in Legion. That's another great point. And we will get to that because they're kind of tied together, right? So in Legion, artifact weapons are a thing. For those of you that have played games like, let's see, the Lord of the Rings Online, you guys will be familiar with the legendary item system. You pick up an item, you know, then you can put stuff into it. It grows with you in power, and you can also change it and mold it to enhance some of your class-specific skills. The Legion expansion came with that. It's called the Artifact Weapon System. I didn't put that in my bank, did I? No, I still have it here. Ashbringer, where are you at? There you go. So this is an example of the artifact weapon. This is for the Rat Paladin. This is the DPS version of the Paladin weapon. So as a reminder for those that have maybe missed Legion, your class that you take into Legion, once you get out of the intro story sequence, you will be taken to your class hall. So what's cool is all the 12 classes in World of Warcraft get their own class halls or class order halls. And there's a story, revolving around that. And when you join a hall, your mission is to go and get 3, well, it depends on how many specializations your class has. So there's going to be quest lines to go get, you know, the weapons, the artifact weapons related to your specializations. And this is one of my favorite things about Legion ever, because unlike other MMOs that, okay, here's a legendary weapon, go out, you know, kill things, make it stronger, make it powerful. Legion is, okay, this is the backstory behind this weapon. This used to be held by, you know, a popular paladin in the past who, like, you know, and you got to go on a quest to go and kill whoever's guarding it, and you know, use it with cinematics and voice acting and everything, and that just really puts you into an immersive state of like, yeah, I earned this weapon, and I'm gonna watch it grow with me. And it does grow with you, because prior to 8.0 and 7.3.5, when there wasn't a lot of catch-up mechanics, it was a pretty long grind to get artifact power. So artifact weapon, you can level it up with artifact power by you know, spending consumables that will increase in power, and every time you have enough to unlock a new trait or whatever, you'd come back to the order hall and then spend that trait. And these little things here are relics, which also, you know, increases the item level of the artifact weapon, in addition to doing some enhancements for your skills. Like, you know, you could shorten the cooldown on one of your important skills or something like that, just as an example. All that is gone now, all that's taken away. As you can see, everything is all grayed out because we use this to kind of help Azeroth. So this is one of my favorite things about Legion as a whole, because not only is it great for, you know, immersion, whatever, it's got, you can unlock cool skins for it. Like I'm using the corrupted Ashbringer skin. This is just one of many. Every class will have their own artifact weapons that does this sort of thing, and it is a sort of progression system that, again, a lot of people didn't really like, because it just felt like a gimmicky thing. Like, it's not exactly horizontal progression in a way. You're just doing another sort of grinding mechanic of just leveling it and leveling it, in addition to, you know, getting your new armor and everything. To me, I understand that point of view, but I still like it, because it kind of, it just takes away the problem of trying to look for a new weapon, or, you know, you're hunting various different dungeons or raids or whatever for a new weapon. Armor, yes, there are armor stuff that you have to go out and get. You know, try and complete stats or whatever. But for weapons, just having it like that and let it grow with you throughout the entire duration of expansion is actually pretty good, you know. And what's coming to BFA is that artifact weapons are, you can say bye-bye to it. You'll obviously take the skins with you. But we're going to have this new thing now, you know, the Azreck powered armor. So no longer are weapons the new cool kid on the block for the expansion. In Battle for Azeroth is all about your armor. So that system, Blizzard likes it, the player base likes it. They've taken that, they've put it into armors now, and that is coming to BFA. That will be different in a way. I mean, it's not like one armor that's going to grow with you or whatever. Every different armor piece that will drop in BFA will have different things that you can do, like, you know, put different traits and stuff like that. It's pretty complex for me to explain. I haven't done the PDR, so I cannot tell you, you know, what's it like or anything, but we're only a couple of days away. Stay tuned. I can't wait for it. What do you guys think about artifact weapons? Alright, checking in chat real quick. Professor Kagan says, I wasn't a fan of the PvP gear up system for Legion. It felt very RNG. Older expansions, you grinded points and bought what you wanted. That's exactly the point there that, you know, a lot of people have against the artifact weapon system, because it, and this is a fair point, you always felt like you're on the treadmill to get better and better and better, and like, oh god, it never stops. I think for artifact power, I don't think there was a cap. Was there a cap? People say the soft cap was at 75, and then once you try and get above 75, it's nothing bonus there. So like my pally, I think can I see my artifact power? I think I'm like 60 or something, and that was good enough. Like, I didn't feel like a need to get beyond that. No, it's gone. You can't really see the power here, but yeah, I didn't feel a need to go any more beyond 60. He also says, I felt like you could set up your self mini goals as a lot easier to keep you motivated to grind. And Graspy says, people don't care for world quests because they had mounts tied to them with a low drop rate. I like world quests, gives me plenty to do. That's a great point about world quests as well. Like I said, there's so many things. Like I'm talking about this from a Legion perspective, but when you get to the point where you've unlocked World Quest and WoW, you already have a ton of things to do in terms of content. If you don't want to run World Quest, there's dungeons and PvP and all kinds of stuff, pet battles, if you will. So I'm just talking about, you know, Legion as a whole, interesting World Quest as a system and mechanic. Again, it has its pros and cons, and it is good enough as a system to make another appearance in Battle for Azeroth. And I personally, like I said, I will do them because they're great rewards for reputation, and I have no idea what the Battle for Azeroth World Quest will contain. But like what you say, if they have like low drop rates for rare items like mounts and stuff, then hey, all the better. Okay, has it been an hour yet? Let me just see if I've covered everything I need to cover about Legion. Yeah, I guess that's the gist of what I want to talk about, really. My biggest regret for Legion is really stopping after I did the expansion. I should have just continued on with my warrior and try and get as much done, and you know, try and complete a lot of the raids and everything. I didn't really do that because you know, you guys, I run an MMORPG channel here. I cover a lot of different MMORPGs because that's what I love to do. So sometimes you got to give up playing a game for a while and jump to another game. I just wish I spent more time, you know, trying to complete a lot of the other stuff, like the raids and the dungeons, and be more proficient at stuff like checking out the PvP and everything. So I missed out a lot on the Legion experience, and what I really like about Legion really as a whole is that this, to me, will be what I think about when I think of how I started my World of Warcraft playing days, I suppose. I have done everything. I've done TBC, Outland, I've done Northrend, I've done Pandaria, and I love Pandaria. Pandaria was one of those out there expansions that just like, yeah, World of Warcraft, we've been making bread flat for 10 years. Pandaria, we're making the bread square. It's a completely different thing that they've imagined and they've thought about and they've went out and done, and everything right down to the damn music of Pandaria still, you know, makes me feel a little giddy and happy about it because it's Oriental, and that's something that Blizzard really took a risk with, and I think it paid off. I love Pandaria. I would have really enjoyed Pandaria if I was playing it at level. So if you know, I was 80 back then or 90 back then, I would have loved it. Legion is going to be my memory of how I started WoW, and I like Legion a lot, really. The systems that it has, the dungeons that I've done, can't speak about the raids too much. I've only done Argus, but yeah, I'm hoping to, you know, cover the Battle for Azeroth expansion head to toe, everything that I can possibly do in BFA. I will freaking do it, because why the hell not? And of course, cover other games and MMOs as well, because yeah, that's what I do. Professor Kagan says, I did like the hidden skins and some of the interesting quest chains with them. Hopefully they carry that forward with some interesting weapons you can get. Me too. I guess let's wrap up. Final thoughts here. So I'm going to go into, you know, some final thoughts about the Legion expansion. Again, for those of you just joining the stream or are going to be watching the earlier parts later on, feel free to share in the chat or in the comment section of the video what your best memory of Legion is. What did you like about the Legion expansion? You know, what you didn't like about Legion expansion? What you wish was being brought over to BFA and vice versa? If you know what's coming, you know what isn't, and we can have a good discussion about that. Oh, okay. HK says, what are you looking forward to in BFA? First things first, the story. If you have followed my channel for a while, HK, you will really know that for me, MMORPGs, I love MMORPGs holistically. Like, I will do anything in it for my review. I'll PvP, I'll PvE, I'll try and do as much as I can. And story for me is very important because as I get older, I'm an old fart now, I don't really have the time to commit to some of the other, you know, stuff that I usually do in MMO. So storytelling in a game, especially for main quests and everything, is a great way for me to transport me into the world and try and get behind the characters and the narrative, and that helps me get engaged and immersed with the MMO. And World of Warcraft story, I spend a lot of time trying to get behind the history and get behind the lore and why we're doing what we're doing through the various different expansions, and I'm very invested with where the story's going now, because I know the characters. I know, it's been a long time in the making for me. And BFA, from a narrative perspective, is really interesting now because of what's happening currently with the Alliance and the Horde, and the dynamics that the lead characters are playing or are not playing, especially when you think of, infighting in the Horde, especially with the leadership issues and everything. It's just awesome. That is one thing to look forward to, and then you've got the content as well. I'm a big fan of things like War Mode, where MMOs try and do something different besides just the usual PvP offering. War Mode sounds fun. Island Expeditions is something that I when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, because they've taken the very best of skirmishes and scenarios. Well, it's not skirmishes. They've taken the very best of what do we got? Onigiri Tai. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm just gonna call you Oni. Thank you very much, Oni, for the sub. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel. But yeah, they've taken the best of what they've learned from like small group content, scenarios, all this stuff, and then put it in Island Expeditions, where you fight against the AI and sometimes against real players, and that's like, can't wait to see what that's like. So yeah, that off the top of my head, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Questing and design, all that's bread and butter. Those are means to an end. I'm quite impressed with the design of questing from Legion that I've seen so far, and it's gotten better since Draenor, and then it's gotten better from Pandaria. So I don't think the design and stuff are things that I should be, worried about getting worse in BFA. I don't think so. So yeah. What about you, man? What are you looking forward to in BFA HK? Let me know. Miss Ladybomb says raiding a new raid with a team is one of the best things in WoW, and I agree, because for those that don't know, I used to raid a lot in the Lord of the Rings Online. I was part of Raiding Lions, and raiding was, at the time when I got into it, to me, the best thing in the world. You're sitting there with 12 people just chatting and having fun and clearing the bosses and talking strategy and making jokes and all the in-between. I love raiding back in my, my raiding days in Lotro. I'm still trying to recapture that, if possible, in other games that I play. So I totally know what you mean, Miss Ladybomb. Cassius R.O. says Blizzard is the best. Pretty subjective there. I mean, they're good at a lot of things. They've messed up in a couple of areas, which I talk about in my latest news video coming out hopefully soon. And yeah, I suppose I'll wrap this up. I gotta go. I gotta head out really shortly. So for me, again, thank you guys for sharing all your Legion stuff. Please keep them coming in. If you want to talk more about Legion, for me, like I said, this is gonna be Legion expansion is gonna be the one that I remember the most, because this is my first expansion where I've done, I think, about 80% of the content, where my headspace was in the game. Like, I knew what was going on. Like, when I jumped into Draenor, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know at the time when I was doing live stream, I didn't even know we went back in time. That's how confused I was as a new player in WoW. I didn't know that was a different time. That damn dragon, that bronze dragon, went and stole that. I read the war crime novel, so I knew what went down now. But back then, as a new player, I had no idea. I thought, oh, this is weird. We were just here like in TVC. What the hell's going on? So interesting. Checking in chat some more. HK says, I'm looking forward to the Island Expeditions. Yep, and he says getting into PvP for the first time. Ooh, getting into PvP for the first time. Look, War Mode. Is it called War Mode? Oh shit, yeah. I hope I said Warfronts earlier when I was talking about content coming out in the September 4th, not War Mode. There's a distinction there, a difference. War Mode is just being able to turn on flag for PvP in your main city and get benefits like bonus XP and, of course, be ganked, or you can go gank in the open world. And this is going to be an interesting change, because all of us, I think everybody that are not level 120, when you start playing in BFA, I think everybody's going to be in War Mode, because if you're a Horde player, you won't be able to come to Kul Tiras until you start your 120 campaign. Same with the Alliance. If you're leveling, you won't be able to go to Zandalar. So both factions, all players will probably be leveling in War Mode. So I think at 120s, when you see more people completing the main story and then starting the campaign, that's when you'll see a lot of players PvPing out in the open world. That is something I'm committed to doing, because That could be fun, right? Doing your world quest and stuff. Graspy says, after 24 years of playing Warcraft, in my IMY Pally can finally go home to Kulturas. Oh, your paladins from Kulturas? That's some nice RP, dude. I'm just going back to see my aunt, Aunt Jaina. I'm like Anduin. She's one hot ant. I just realized that sounded a lot like Spider-Man in the new Spider-Man. You know, his aunt is pretty hot. I said aunt. I have problems pronouncing that. A-U-N-T. Aunt. Auntie. Anyway, this has derailed. Yeah, final thoughts. Legion story, I'm gonna miss it. We said goodbye to 2 characters here. King Varian Rin and Vol'jin. I have heard rumors of one of them being a surprise comeback in BFA. But yeah, this is where we got 2 new war leaders. Sylvanas for the Horde as War Chief and Anduin as King of Stormwind. This will be the expansion that, you know, both the Horde and Alliance work together to take down the Legion, and then floop, that's all gone. It's now back to war. So I'm gonna miss the story here as well. I think it was done really well and explained in a way that, as a new player, there's nothing to be confused about. It was just easy to grasp, easy to follow. Lots of main staple characters, big name characters coming out, and you know, moving the story along. Lots of fan service. We also said goodbye to Illidan, who is now watching or playing cards with Sargeras, I think. I don't know how they're passing the time together, but yeah, overall good expansion. Is it my top World of Warcraft expansion right now? I'd say it's on par with Pandaria. Those 2 are my favorite, and you guys can you know, tease me all you want because I wasn't there for, you know, Northrend, Wrath of the Lich King, or all the other expansions, and I didn't really do a lot of them. But Pandaria and Legion are my top World of Warcraft expansions. There you have it. That's my opinion. And let's check it in chat here and wrap up the stream. HK says, sexy pirate aunt. Sexy pirate aunt, yeah. Yeah. I wonder how old Jaina is. Acer Annoying says, Anduin has no children, so he's the last king. The last king of Stormwind. That's the thing. I was reading the Before the Storm novel. And in the novel, Gen Greymane has been trying to, you know, every time Anduin says, oh, I'm going to visit the dwarves, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, and Gen is like, don't leave without, you know, marrying and having an heir, because if you die, what happens, you know? And that's an interesting point as well. If Anduin dies, there it goes. So, lots to ponder there. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for me. Again, if you've just joined the stream, I'm sorry, it's a really short stream. Longer streams, review streams are coming back, beginning with Battle for Azeroth this freaking Tuesday. I'm pumped up, I'm excited. I will see you guys live right here on my channel on YouTube. And yeah, that'll be fun. As for tonight, if you just joined in, sorry, you know, it's coming to an end here. But again, I'm asking you the question: what did you like the best about the Legion expansion? What you didn't like about the Legion expansion? Your favorite memories, all that good stuff. I've asked chat, and chat has replied me. And it's your turn to put that in the comment section below, and we can have a good discussion leading into Battle for Azeroth. So everyone in chat tonight, Graspy says, peace out all. Thank you, Graspy. Graspy, Acer, HK. Who else we got? Cassius, Miss Lady Bomb, Professor Kaken, and anyone else? Alex Case Production, Acer Annoying, Shagrath from the Czech Republic. He really wanted me to say that, and that's cool. We got a worldwide community here. Hope I didn't miss anyone else. Punk in the earlier, Jiggle Squid Gaming. Yep, I think that's about it. And Jerry as well. You guys, thank you so much for jumping in tonight. Get some rest, really. If you guys are anything like the MMO nut that I am, you guys will be lacking sleep and running on caffeine. And get enough rest, drink enough water. Tell your boss, tell your wives, tell your lovers that Tuesday onwards is going to be hard to contact you. You know, always stay hydrated, get some snacks, and take care of yourself. And I will see you guys in Azeroth next week. Before I go, though, you guys are still chatting here. Let's read some more. HK says, cool, have a nice day. Thank you, HK. Appreciate that. You too, brother. Jerry says, see you, bro. I'm playing Mist of Pandaria right now. Awesome. Awesome. Zacajun, hey, Zacajun says, hi, I forgot you are, love Sunday mornings, and I just missed it too, apparently. Hey, don't worry about it, you know, this is a very short stream, so that means you can just rewind and watch it again, but thanks for dropping by, Zacajun, and sorry that you're catching the tail end. Punk, I forgot Punk, god damn it, sorry, man. He says, cool stream, man, was just listening. Yeah, sorry, you were like the first guy to chat, and that's why I kind of missed it. We got Rico too, damn it. Hey, Rico says, I think I've been missing a lot of streams. Hey, don't worry about it, people miss stuff all the time. I've missed out on a lot of Twitch streams. I've been working hard lately. There's about a few more videos that I'm coming on my YouTube channel for ESO, for Lord of the Rings, and a bunch of other MMOs. You guys should see that over the next couple of days. Jerry says private server, P server. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go now. For those of you in the West, have a great Sunday. For those of you in my part of the world, have a good night. Again, enjoy the week ahead. Rest well, those of you that have taken leave and are planning to jump into battle for Azeroth. Take care of yourselves, most importantly. And I will see you soon. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.